Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. You know me, I'm Tom. Let me get myself adjusted here. Again, this type of video series has become really popular. This is definitely going to be a two-beer video, so grab one yourself. This is going to be kind of a storm party because Ian is tracking up the coast, as you know, if you've been following the news. Fort Myers, Florida, Puerto Rico, and basically Florida, and it's just being devastated by 140-mile-an-hour hurricane. It was a Category 4 when it hit land. And before we get started into this topic, because it's about prepping, survival, preparedness, all the things I've been preaching for years on this channel, and if you guys don't know it, the name of the channel is Prepper Life. Okay, here's to you. Like the first taste of beer. Okay, let me reiterate a point I have always made. Now, there is an exception to this, but I've always said Mother Nature is the biggest shit hits the fan situation that in reality that you could face. Something in your lifetime that you probably will face some sort of natural event, whether it's a tornado, a hurricane, lightning, flooding, freezing cold weather, or extreme heat, any of these variances, that's Mother Nature. Now, she's unpredictable, very unpredictable. So there's no way you're going to sit there, you'd be somewhere in Texas, northern Texas, the Panhandle, the Arkansas, and, the Ohio Valley, and be in Tornado Alley. This to me is one of those moments in time where preparedness, being prepared, is so multi-dimensional, okay? Multi-dimensional. And the reason why I say that is because I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to break this down for you. This is one of these things I've been doing for years and years and years and thinking about for even longer than that, okay? Now, if you listen to the news and you listen to these half-witted anchors, news anchors, and they have these little stories on, your little survival kitchen cabinet, what you should have, on hand, like water, bread, beans, flashlights, matches, all that shit is okay. But it's like for dummies for 101 grade level kindergarten. It's kindergarten information. Now, if you want to get into the master's degree program or the PhD aspect of the program and become a master prepper, then it's not having stockpiles of weapons, stockpiles of ammunition, stockpiles of survival food, but that's a good one. But what I'm suggesting is this, is that let's say all of us are in Florida, where this storm is so big that it wipes out half the United States, floods, power, which right now is at 2.5 million people that's affected by the storm that have no power down in Florida. Fort Walton Beach is basically destroyed, right? Destroyed. Now, it's like dropping an A-bomb, right? Levels the city. Same thing. Okay, Mother Nature. It just didn't, and it's not one of these things that you can put your finger on it and say, well, where should I live? What's the most advantageous place on the planet that I can live that has probably the least probability of being hit by some sort of major weather event? I'm sure there's a lot of research that's been done in that regard. But I've been all over the world, and I'm telling you, there's not really a lot of places you can go that doesn't have some extreme of weather, some extreme to what, left or right, up or down, it doesn't matter. There's something going to happen. Look at, Alaska. Whoever thought it was going to be so warm there, And now there's parts of the country that, are seeing more rain than they had in 500 years. And then in California, everything's drying up to where all the reservoirs are running out of water. Okay, so those are extremes. Now, if you're in some foreign continent, Africa, India, Asia Minor, Europe, wherever Canada, South, all the way at the tip, Argentina, you're going to have your own different variations of weather events. And obviously so. Now, there's also a big thing going on right now with the Ukraine. Now, I don't do too much politics, but war, unprecedented war, when it just comes out of nowhere, that is definitely a shit hits the fan event. So my heart goes out to the Ukrainian people, but it looks like they got the upper hand. Now my heart goes out to the Russian people, and don't give me no negative comments, is the draft. The 3 million people conscript draft that Putin's trying to put together. And look at everybody trying to leave the country. It's the same thing that happened during Vietnam. Everybody ran to Canada. So we're no different than them. The young people I'm talking about. They don't want to go to war. Hell, when I was 18 and stuck over in Korea, I didn't want to go to war either in 76, during the Panmunjom deal. I didn't want to go to war, but I was there already. That was something that was unprecedented and unpredictable. You could not predict that happening. Now, when it comes to Mother Nature, you can predict up to a point that if you live in the Gulf of Mexico, the chances of you getting slammed by a few storms every year are pretty good. Are pretty damn good. If you live in the Himalayas, the chances of you freezing your nuts off are pretty damn good. And if you lived in Saudi Arabia, the chances are that you would be hot as hell would be pretty accurate. You would be hot as hell there. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If it's picking a place to be safer than, say, a high-risk area like a beachfront, Florida, Fort Myers specifically. Now, this storm is coming up north. It's heading. It's going to be here tonight or in the morning. And we're supposed to, they've already canceled all the schools around here already. One thing about North Carolina, they'll shut everything down. They'll just say, don't go. And we've already got that order already. All the schools, every county that I can think of around here anyway, Orange, Durham, Mecklenburg, all that, all of them. We're all Wake, they shut down everything for tomorrow. So now except essential services, plus they are retaining the linemen, the power workers, are staying in North Carolina because we're going to have our own problems, okay? Now, once we're through with ours, we're going to send our crews down to Florida. But the preparedness aspect of your life is what I want to talk to you about. This goes deeper. Let's graduate ourselves from the first grade. Let's jump right up to the 10th grade, okay? You're in junior high. You're somewhat smart. You picked a halfway decent place to live. That's not subject to too many storms at any one given moment time during the year. Somewhat predictable, 4 seasons, whatever. Like North Carolina, okay? I've been here 39 years, and I can count maybe 5 storms in 39 years. So I think that's a pretty good percentage. Unlike Florida, or some parts of Canada, or Siberia. That would be a bitch, Siberia. Oh my God, you would never get me to Siberia. But I digress. But the whole point is that now, okay, you've picked this comfortable place. You got, your life's pretty much in order. You're heading off a lot of issues, because remember, prepping goes deeper than preparing yourself for war or natural disasters. It's also for financial disasters, health disasters, food disasters, employment disasters, all kinds of drama. People who just disrupt your life, the flow. They mess up your flow, your groove. You know what I'm saying? Kind of dating myself there, excuse me. Okay, that's the first beer. When I finish my second beer, the video will be over. Now, I told myself many years ago that if I work in a commission job, that I have the best chance of not being fired as long as I was a car salesman, as you guys know. As long as I sell 10 cars every single month, I kept a job. So that was always, for me, something that I prepped for. I made sure that my numbers were high because I also not only wanted to keep a job, but I also wanted to make a lot of money. So I prepped financially for years. Remember, I also invested for years. So second thing is some people say your education. Education, I don't have any, but I always taught myself what I needed to know. So this makes you a smart person, wise, good common sense person, right? Good judgment. So now let's go ahead and graduate from the 10th grade. Let's go to college. And this is what prepping is all about. College, prepping, plan B. Having, not thinking about having, but having a plan B. And plan B, in my opinion, is a second location that's off grid, that's sustainable, that's got stockpiles of things that you need to survive, like survival food, plenty of it. Like me, I've got over 500 days worth of survival food at the farm, and you guys know how I got it because I bought it in an estate sale. And here in Raleigh, I've got 190 days worth of survival food, 20-year shelf life stuff that, excuse me, I bought in another estate sale. So there's the food part. Now, your money, let's just say you're doing okay. The big trap is credit debt. Is debt. Because if you live, let's say, in the city and you're working on your plan B, let's just say it's going good, but you lose your job. You start scrambling. You don't know what to do because you got so much debt, you technically have to put plan B on hold. Now, this is where the tragedy comes in my opinion, is that people don't look at the long-term effects of their short-term decision-making process. Did you hear me? People don't know the effects, the long-term effects of their short-term decision-making properties or decisions, choices. Now, this is very, very important. When you're a young man or a young woman, I heard a story last night that was interesting. This one mother, a single mother, told her youngest daughter, who was just getting ready to turn 18 and go to college, you got 3 rules to live by. 3. Guess what those 3 rules are? For a girl now, this is for a girl, going to college, first time, out of the house. What do you think her 3 rules are? Number 1. Never get pregnant. Okay? Number 2, never, ever not have a part-time job. always have a part-time job somewhere doing something, making something, okay? And 3, guess what number 3 is? Don't trust men. I thought that was funny. That's what mothers teach daughters. Guys, fathers teach sons a whole bunch of different stuff, like go to college, smash it, drink beer, and smash it again. We're such idiots. Now, that's what leads me up to this thing, because now we're in college. The first year, we're doing stupid shit. Okay, we're partying. We're partying. Okay? We're not looking at the future. The future, it could be 5 years down the road, it could be one day down the road, or it could be 20 to 30 years down the road. My mind has always been that I used to always project 10 years down the road. I do everything in 10-year cycles. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos over the years, I get the 10-year itch. And the 10-year burp, sorry. Long day. I'll talk to you about that on another segment, because anyway, I'll talk to you. We're going to do more of these. I kind of enjoy these type of videos. Okay. Now, we're in our first year of college. We're partying. We're being, what we are, young, stupid kids. I was a young, stupid kid. I was rude. Well, up to a point. I was a mean kid. I was a mean, self-righteous kid. I really was. As I got to the age of, say, 31, when I got married for the first time. Okay, I got my very first marriage was a contract marriage, which was 18. But when I got 31, I got married for the second time, which was a real marriage, or the first time. Okay, for the first time. That's cool. The second time was really the first time. Oh, yeah. But anyway, I digress. Then I started strategizing everything in my life in 10-year blocks of time. Where I want to go, what I want to be, where I want to live, how much I want to make, who I'm going to be with, who am I going to be friends with, blah, 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 blah. All that, I literally, it's like a flow chart. I did a flow chart of my life, and I projected it out almost to 50 to 60 years. Where I am today, I projected my lifestyle to be 15 to 20 years ago. So where I am right now is exactly where I projected myself to be 20 years ago. Think about that for a little while, boys and girls. Have you projected your life out 20 years, and are you exactly where you should be 20 years later? The things that the mind can conjure up when you really, really think. Okay? Learning how to think. Now, there's a Freudian expression, the 6th level, the hierarchies of needs, is self-reflection. And when you look back at your life, can you positively say that you're satisfied with all the decisions you've ever made, and that you've arrived at a place in time predestined that you are satisfied with all your decision-making processes? You like that? Very philosophical. Remember, I have no education. Okay? This is life that I learned. I learned life the right way. Okay? Now, preparedness will project you out to a point to where if there's a natural disaster, all you have to do is jump in a car and drive off into the mountains. That's easy, okay? Now, we're graduated college. Now we're going for our doctorate, okay? We're going big time here. Plan B is exactly what Plan B should be. A place that you can go what is out of the scope of chaos. And chaos is always going to be in the city, the urban areas, the coastlines, places where when there's congestion and there's heavy traffic and there's public utilities and there's power, there's water, there's sewer that you can't do anything about. you can't control it, and it automatically goes offline. Is this registering? Is this registering all my hardcore subscribers? You guys, you're the ones that made this channel. I want all 23,600 of you to comment on this video. In other words, all 23,000 plus subscribers comment on this video. And here's why I'm saying this, because my heart goes out to you if you're in Florida, especially Fort Myers, especially Puerto Rico. It is our province, okay? Part of the United States. So here's what I'm going to suggest to you, is that your life, marriage, kids, job, career, college, debt, everything that you put together as a young person, you thought these were the best choices you could possibly make because it follows the norm, listening to the news, listening to, the half-witted people that think they know what the hell they're talking about, and then you get stuck in one of these tragedy situations, and then you have to wait for the Red Cross to come down, FEMA, and all these people. Remember what happened with the FEMA trailers and all that in Louisiana? Can you imagine that you were at the mercy of anyone and you can't help yourself get the hell out of that situation, and then already have a predetermined destination that you can go to that's already stocked, ready to go, that's out of harm's way? Without anybody telling you that you have to owe them a dime, pay anybody anything, and that you're totally secure and safe. Now, you may lose your primary residence. Let's say this storm tonight when it comes in, okay? It's going to be a rain event. We've had plenty of rain events around here, even in September. A lot of rain. And I'm going to say this. The average person out there, and people ask me why I got so many vehicles. Do you know that I always keep one vehicle full of fuel? One. Full. Always. And you know why? It's because if I have to escape, I'm going to escape in one of the vehicles I have that has tons of storage. That's why I have vans. See, vans, you can throw a shitload of stuff in the back real quick. I promise you, if I knew that, let's say there's a freaking tornado and I'm going to lose this townhome. Of course, I got insurance. But the bottom line is, I don't want to lose it because I don't want to go through the hassle of collecting the insurance and losing all my shit that I've been collecting for 60 years. But let's say it happens. I've got a certain designated area here that within, I promise you, 1 hour flat, I can have weapons, ammo, food, water, clothes, and just the essentials. A generator. I got an inverter that you guys know I got. I got a $1,500 damn inverter. I keep it full all the time. I got all the survival food. Throw it in one of the vans, whichever van I know is the best one to take, and go and haul ass to the off-grid farm that I've been working on for the last 8 years. And there's more stuff out there. Shit. And if, let's say, then a swarm of locusts comes and, a flood out of a freak of nature, a Noah's Ark event shows up at my off-grid farm. Well, now I'm going to take you all the way to what's the highest degree you can possibly get? What is it called? Leave that in the comments. What is the most prestigious college degree you can possibly get? What is it? A doctorate? A fellowship? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments, because I have no idea about that. I know it's something like that. It's some just, a baccalaureate, whatever it is, leave it in the comments. So I think I lost my train of thought on that one. But anyway, the brain fart time. But here's the deal. When you get to the point to where your plan B is destroyed, guess what? Then you need plan C. C is the one that you know that you haven't really thought out a lot, but it's just there. You already kind of mapped it out. It's one of those, if A goes down, B, everything's cool, and then all of a sudden B is threatened, then you better have a C, okay? C is when you've reached your baccalaureate degree, okay, or your fellowship. That's when you get up there, when you have already got A, B, and C. A, B, C, do, re, mi. When you got those together, and it's all funded, and it's all paid for, you're debt-free, you got tons of cash, shit to trade, because remember, if society goes down, it's all going to be about trading. Okay, you're going to be trading stuff. You're not going to be buying anything. And you people with the credit cards, you're going to die. All of you. People with a lot of credit card debt and they got no cash, you will die in the apocalypse. Oh, yeah, you will. I can't help you, folks. That one there, you did that. All you city dwellers. I'm a city dweller, but I got plan B, and I got C somewhat mapped out, sort of, kind of. But I digress. I've already finished my second beer. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. I'd love your comments and opinions on this particular topic because you know what? I don't think here in the United States, especially North Carolina, that I have to worry about a nuclear bomb falling on us. Just that part I don't worry about. You know what I worry about? I can't apply for flood insurance here. Where I live, they do not allow flood insurance because they don't offer it. But guess what? What happens if it floods? I'm screwed, right? So I lose everything. Then my insurance becomes null and void. Think about that. Contractual liability. That's going to be the close of this particular video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. You know me, I'm Tom. Like, share, subscribe, smash that bell for future notification because if you don't, you'll never know I got another video out. And also leave a comment, thumbs up, and do this. Be kind and share your thoughts. But I want all 600 something plus of you subscribers leaving a comment on this video, okay? I'll see you later. What are you doing to survive? Do you have an ABC in place? Bye. Godspeed.